Hey peeps, picture this. You're flying around on your spaceship, and after receiving a distress call, you are shot down and crash land on an alien planet. Continuing to find the call, you find bodies that look like yours and recordings of your voice. Then, when your life is cut short, you find yourself back at the crashed ship to do it all over again. And again. And again. And again. This is Returnal. Developed by Housemarque, Returnal is nothing like their previously made games, but then again, they didn't really stick to a formula. They've made everything from a snowboarding game to a golf game, and even porting the Angry Birds game onto the Xbox. That is not a joke, Angry Birds is on the Xbox 360 because of these guys. How good. So for them to change it up and make a AAA third-person roguelike with a spice of psychological horror set in an ever-changing alien world was a big shot for them to take, and oh boy it lands. Unlike your ship. You're Selene, whose last name I've forgotten, who is pretty much Ellen Ripley from Alien on steroids.
Drugs.
She's voiced by Jane Perry, who has been voicing for a while now, but has exploded in popularity with her winning a BAFTA award in 2022 for this very game. She's even in last year's Game of the Year award winner, Baldur's Gate 3. Selene is a space pilot who at first seems pretty one note, but as the game goes on and so does her mental state, she really starts to shine.
If I peeled back my skin, what would I discover hiding inside? That's disgusting. I don't ever want to experience what she has.
But a lot of what you'll be hearing from her is this sound. That's right, this game is hard as balls. That is the life of being a roguelike, in which every time you die, you pretty much restart the game. The sound of that always scares people off, but with enough patience, pretty much anyone can beat a game like this. Doing that consists of going through rooms and rooms of weird and strange creatures firing all kinds of pretty lasers at you. Some will be flying and some will be jumping, and almost all of them are absolutely terrifying. You take down these things with a variety of guns with all different stats and skills. There's no outright win the game gun, but most of these are really powerful, with some of my favourites being this weird looking one that spits balls of acid, and the gun. The guns are always evolving and upgrading, so it's encouraged to try them all and get a feel for the ones you like the most. The controller also makes these weapons all feel unique in their own way, with the haptic triggers making it so that you can aim normally, then if you pull the trigger all the way back, you can use a secondary fire. Along with the weapons to find, you can also find these things called artifacts, which can give you simple stat boosts to changing how you kill enemies. Something very special that Returnal does with a lot of its mechanics in the game, focused around high risk, high reward. A lot of the items you come across are infected with the yuckies, and can have a chance of screwing over your game with certain debuffs that can sometimes be straight up run enders. Along with that, there are also parasites which give you a buff and a debuff at the same time. Do you take more health with a chance of losing it or getting infected? Yes, of course you do, we love gambling! You can also experience all of this with a really simple and balanced co-op.
No, yes I did. Oh. Playing with the woman. Always coming to fuck my shit.
You right there?
Yep.
Also, something that just needs to be talked about is the visuals on display here. This game is beautiful and the different biomes are so distinct and all have their own feel to them. The structures that tower over you are just jaw-dropping and the planet feels so alive. But I will say, things definitely aren't as they seem. Oh yeah, my house is here, that's normal. So you start a run, kill lots of enemies, go to the next biome, repeat. That's the game. Astronaut! Now when it comes to this game's trophies, it's very hit or miss. Most of the trophies here are your standard finish the game, finish this part, defeat this boss, but where it gets really tricky and annoying is the trophies for getting all the collectibles in each of the biomes. And since the rooms are randomly generated, it's all luck whether you get the collectibles that you need to spawn. This makes it so annoying even if you're following a guide, because you can go through a whole run, that could take upwards of 2 hours by the way, and still miss what you need. So pretty much the best way to get these is to run from room to room, skipping all the enemies and trying to find the collectibles that you need. If you don't get the right ones to spawn, restart and do it all over again. It's a lot of really annoying RNG to say the least. Besides that and the difficulty of the game itself, it's not too bad and there's nothing that's really going to push you to your limits, even in the free DLC where they added more trophies and a whole new playable area. So overall, if you can't tell, I really like this game. 9 out of 10, baby! Platinum, 5 out of 10. Those collectibles suck, and a lot of people, not including myself, have had trophies just straight up not popping, which is a terrifying thought, especially when it comes to the difficulty of the game. Speaking of, the Platinum difficulty is a 6 out of 10. If you have the patience to just keep playing the game and keep looking for the collectibles, you should be alright. Sort of.